We're heading to extra time, but there's still 5 minutes to play here, Mark. And by all means, there could be more chances. Still in the box, and it's another goal! And it's Andre Cole, the hero for Croydon! We thought it was over, but it's not over, and Croydon look like they're going to go all the way to the win.
We can't say that now.
Here goes Yuki Sasaki into the area. Penagaris, Chrissy Penagaris. Adelaide Comets have taken the lead.
Falcon there, but it leaves Owen Windsor. And a third for Metro Stars.
Here's Emma Ryan. She's not one of them because she's from Darwin. The shot from DeCola. Oh! Lily DeCola scores in the cup final again and wins it for West Adelaide.
Oh, as the ball cuts back here to Odenwalder. And James Odenwalder scores. He makes it 2-0 for West Adelaide on the day.
I bet he was going to be Travella if he puts one in. He goes himself instead. And it's still Soy Sakani. It's unbelievable, David, as well. And that one is definitely going to be credited to him.
Will have to be chased down by Rapawano. He'll put in a cross of his own. Hobbs wasn't able to capture it. It's in! It's not the one that seals up the Atletico promotion.
I got the skills to make the girls sing, and the geezers too. Yeah, we're doing this thing.
Hello, welcome to One Game at a Time. It is the 13th of May on a Wednesday. As always, I'm Seb O'Neill, joined by my regular co-hosts, and my question for this week, David Grant, is what is your go-to order from the fast food venue with a golden-shaped letter as its logo?
To be honest, I don't frequent that place as often as I probably used to, but I would probably just be something like just a quarter pounder burger, quarter pounder with cheese. Do they still call it that, or do they just call it a quarter pounder?
Either or, I think.
Yeah,
Whatever you
I
decide.
think I think in the olden days it didn't come with cheese, and you had to ask for it with cheese if you wanted cheese. And now it does come with that by default. But I've for so long, just like calling an assistant a linesman, I can't deviate from it. So I don't really have them that often. But if I do, quarter pounder with cheese. Thanks very much.
Debate for the ages. Mark, for you.
You started it.
I don't have a regular. It changes too often between nuggets and cheeseburgers, or double cheeseburgers and chicken burgers. So it just depends on the mood. To be honest, I don't have a regular.
Good answer.
Sorry.
Alessio is not here, although he might be joining later. He has prior commitments, unfortunately. So we'll
He's not getting married or something, is he?
Not that we know of.
Okay.
But for a second week in a row, we're down to 3, at least for now. On to our picks of the week. I will go first. It's less than a month away from the World Cup, as you can see. The World Cup. Which one? The World Cup, David? You're very excited about?
Yes, that's a fine-looking top you're wearing there.
And, of course, we've had a few Socceroos have started getting called into camp. The squad doesn't get announced until the 1st of June or something like that. But some are still playing, including one of our very own in Riley McGree. Had the second leg of their playoff final against Southampton. McGree scoring the opening goal in the second leg in their bid for Premier League promotion. A very tidy finish from Riley McGree, and even has a familiar celebration, which I imagine will be discussed later on the show with particular guests. But, of course, in the end, they did end up losing 2-1 late on to Southampton, and they've gone through to the playoff final, at least for now, David, despite some controversy. But in not very long to the World Cup, it is good to see, of course, a Socceroo, but also one of our own getting in some good form as he heads into the World Cup in the USA, Canada and Mexico. But David, as what you're wearing, it is an unfortunate outcome for Middlesbrough, just sort of going on to that topic as a whole.
Yes, it is indeed. My wife is from there and is over there just now and watched the game with her dad, which was probably quite a nice time for them both, but not the outcome they would have wanted. And I'm sure that Riley McGree's probably in a bit of a downer now, but his focus will turn to the World Cup in due course. But yeah, disappointing night for him. And again, the club itself is something that we might discuss a little bit later on with another one of our guests who has family there and came from there originally. I forgot to mention to you guys, I was over there in November and I went to Blackburn Rovers playing Southampton, and at the time I'm pretty sure Southampton were down near the bottom. I'm sure they were just outside the relegation zone in November. And Blackburn were as well, and from memory Blackburn won that game that I went to, so I'm not sure. Southampton must have just slowly but surely climbed and got themselves up into that. They finished third, I think, didn't they? Or no, Millwall were third, Southampton maybe fourth. Yeah, so well, that's the way it goes, isn't it?
But
the magic of the playoff.
And the controversy surrounds it, David, of course, which is to be decided as well.
That's right. So the rules stipulate that within 72 hours of playing an opponent, you're not allowed to spy on them, essentially. You're not supposed to go along and watch them training and film them and all that sort of stuff. And Middlesbrough had put in a complaint that they'd seen someone filming them. And then that person had rushed off and gone somewhere and got into a disguise and then did a runner. Did you hear about that? They went into... So, I mean, if they weren't sure about the guilt beforehand, I'm sure that the action of running into a changing room and putting on dark glasses and a fake moustache has probably ensured the ensured guilt. So they are in breach. I mean, Southampton are in breach of a regulation there that, who knows what that will mean for the result if Middlesbrough opt to chase that or dispute it.
Certainly an interesting weekend coming ahead. But I will go right back to you for your pick as well, David, as well.
Okay, so my chief pick is the Asian Cup for the girls. Under 17 Cups being played just now. We have some South Australian representation there. Maeve Nicholas is playing for the Australian team, the Junior Matildas. I suppose we've got to call them the Combank Junior Matildas, don't we? For sponsorship reasons. But I feel a bit. I mean, I get sponsorship at club level, international level. I think you're selling your soul a little bit if you start renaming your stadiums and your teams based on a sponsor. But that's my opinion, and it counts for nothing in the grand scheme of things. So anyway, Australia started out with a 2-0 win in game 1. Maeve Nicholas came on as a sub in the 62nd minute. And then in game 2, they drew 1-1 with Lebanon. And again, she came on as a substitute at half-time for the same player, actually, Kira Saris, who's not South Australian, I hasten to add. And we are a South Australian-focused show. Game 3, they faced Japan, and they were soundly beaten 5-0. But a highlight there was Maeve Nicholas got 90 minutes of football in that game, and also was the team captain. And despite that loss, they did finish second in the group, which qualified them to progress into the knockout stages, where they faced Vietnam. That was a quarter-final game, and they beat Vietnam 2-0, and Maeve Nicholas again played the full 90 minutes in that game. But the big thing about winning the quarter-final, getting into the semi-finals, you qualify for the World Cup, which is to be held later this year in Morocco. And so Australia still have to play Japan in the semi-finals, which is on the 14th of May at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. But that getting into that semi-final means automatic qualification for the Under-17 Girls World Cup. I'm calling it girls, but by the time you get to that age, you're, I don't know, I suppose it is juniors, girls. Anyway, the result confirms Australia's place at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup Morocco 2026. And it marks a significant milestone for the nation's youth pathway and for the next generation of Australian women's footballers. The Combank Junior Matildas will now turn their attention to the semi-finals, and they'll face Japan on the 14th of May at 3 p.m. Local time. That's 5 p.m. Eastern, which is 4:30 p.m. here on Thursday. Michaela Stella, former guest on this show, is involved in the setup there, the coaching setup. Daniel Loud, Maeve Nicholas, of course, as we mentioned before, and Mike Cooper. They are the South Australians who are over there, and in that picture there on the left, I believe that is Michaela Stella on the right, Maeve Nicholas in the middle, and Daniel Loud on the left-hand side. So South Australian representation, and goodness me, we could have Maeve Nicholas playing in the World Cup, and she'll be back playing here, I would imagine, for Football SA in between. So, well, what an adventure. That's my pick of the week. I have got another quick one. Did you want that one as well, Seb?
Yes, please.
Okay, so very quickly, I took myself up to the Barossa. I was allocated to commentate on the match at the Barossa at the weekend, and I just wanted to give a shout out to the Barossa United Ultras, who gathered behind the goal that Cody Ostreich was defending for Metro Stars and cheered him on throughout most of the night. The last 10 minutes, they were besotted with him, there's no other way to put it, cheering his every move and every touch. And I don't know what happened after the game, but Cody Ostreich was having his name chanted by those kids behind the goal. It was really quite amusing. If you're leaning a little bit of light entertainment, just watch the last 10 minutes of Metro Stars versus Adelaide United from the Barossa last week, and just watch every time Cody Ostreich gets the ball and the kids behind the goal cheering him on. It was a thing of majesty and beauty. I loved it. So I doff my bonnet to the Barossa United Ultras.
No, very good. David, I do have it written down. You had one more to do with the World Cup.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. You did.
What was that one?
To do with predictions.
Oh, I thought you were doing that. Sorry. So what your favourite and premier podcast media group from South Australia have decided to do? That's us.
That's the description of us. Sure. Yeah.
Yes. Petty and ill-informed, but trying nonetheless. What we've decided to do is we have launched a tipping competition for the World Cup. It's called the One World Cup Game at a Time tipping competition. It's part of the ESPN footy tipping setup, so you can go and create yourself an account and you can join in and tip in our competition. And all those people out there who pick on us for all of our... Oh, that's very smart.
Fancy, yeah.
Yeah, all of those people, I'll just finish what I was saying. So all the people who come up to us and say, oh, you didn't tip us this week and your tipping's rubbish. Well, now's your chance to come in and prove us all wrong and show us how good you guys are. And Seb has just pointed out there's a QR code at the top left of screen, which is of no use to anyone who's listening to this on Spotify.
The link will be somewhere in our Instagram, wherever. It'll be posted and there'll be a post.
That's very clever. So we'll put a link out to that and you can join. It's open to the public, so you can bring your pals along. There's going to be about 640 games played by all 520 nations that are participating. So it's going to be a busy 6 or 7 or 8 weeks. But yeah, join our footy tipping competition for the World Cup and you can be a winner. There's no prizes, it's just honour.
Yep. Perfect. Mark, finally for your pick.
I'll keep it quite short and simple. We had, I'm going to say, the unfortunate news that Adelaide City now have an AI camera. So broadcasting there will. Yeah.
I thought I'd use the button. I never get to use the
That
button.
was brilliant. That was brilliant. So unfortunately,
You need to press that every time you mention AI.
Okay, that's the AI button now.
So
Sorry.
So yeah, unfortunately, they're going that way with Adelaide City's ground. So we're now going to have to watch from an AI camera there, which is a bit of a shame because I think I know most players probably don't really mind too much because they'll get their VO footage. To be honest, which is I think probably a little bit better actually. But unfortunately for the viewers that watch, it's not the best. The best footage. It doesn't zoom in and things like that. It just sort of watches the half, and it's quite difficult to see what's happened in penalty areas and things like that. But it's it's one of those things, unfortunately. So Adelaide City now are going to have to practice. They're shooting towards their grandstand. Hint, hint, wink, wink, guys.
We don't condone any breaking of anything, but read into what you will.
No, we don't. We don't. Not at all. Read that however you like.
No. We'll go. Very weird start. We'll go on to the next part of the show. As always, right on cue. As always, and it's coming from the east.
Right on cue.
The east-ish, north, east.
Which
is
not
David,
here.
sort of.
Is that kind of me, northeast?
I think you're the closest.
Yeah, I reckon.
I think I'm
Yeah, you're gonna be
southeast, but
closest
yeah,
on this
northeast is good. Okay, hey, it'd be really funny if when they come in, you just press that wah 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 button again. Hang on, I'll go get the door.
I don't know if two sounds can play at once, but I'll find
I'm
out.
not sure that'd be a good one. That's not fair on them.
You won't believe who it is.
I'm sure I won't.
It's Campbelltown City's Alex Mullen and Jordan Elsey.
G'day guys, how are ya? Thanks for having us on.
Thank you to the both of you for withstanding our nonsense for the first 17 minutes of the show. I'll start off, as always, the two of you, same question I ask all the guests, just to sort of get a run through of sort of their journey in life. Your footballing career journey up until now, Alex, I'll start with you.
Yes. First of all, thanks for having us on. My journey started for Murray Vista, actually. That's when I first started playing. Back then, I think they were in the Elizabethan Districts League. They weren't in the Federation set up back then. But I played, I started under sixes there and went up to about under nines or under tens. And then my dad took me to where my brother was playing at Parra Hills Knights. And I somehow made the under 12s. I think the fact that my dad's friend was the coach probably helped me maybe a little bit with that. Played there for about 4 or 5 years, and then I was lucky enough to be involved in the Sassy setup, which I don't think is going on now with football. I'm not too sure, but I was at Sassy for about 2 years. Finished my time there, and then came back to Parra Hills as a 17-year-old and played a season there, and then trialled out for the Adelaide United youth team when my Uncle Joe was the coach, and my brother was the captain, and Daniel, my cousin, was in the first team. And unfortunately didn't make it, so I made the decision to try and venture out and try and get some exposure elsewhere, and went to America for 4 years at the University of Mars Hill in North Carolina. Great experience. That time was good because I actually played all year round. When they were in their off season, I would come back and it would be the regular NPL season. So I played 6 or 7 games for Parra Hills when I would come back, and then I'll head back to America for the following year. So yeah, it was really good over there. I had some great coaching, great facilities, and was just playing football non-stop throughout the whole year, which was great. And developed quite a bit as a footballer over there and as a person, and then came back and had another year at Para Hills, and got in touch with Dimi Pajas, who was also playing at Para Hills at the time. And he made some phone calls, and next minute Graham Arnold called me over for a trial, and had a trial at Sydney FC, and it was about 2 weeks over there, 2 separate weeks, and then signed a mature age rookie deal for Sydney FC for the season of 2016, which is a great experience. And then after that, I came back to Adelaide. I think I had another season at Para Hills, and then made the move to Campbelltown in 2018, and have been there since, and loved every bit of it. So that's my journey, and loved every bit of my whole career as well. So yeah, it's fair journey, but it's been a really good one, and hopefully I can still create some more memories in the future.
No, perfect. Jordan, for you?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. My memory isn't as good as Alex's, so I'll try and remember where I've been my whole life. Started out at Para Hills East, similar to Alex, so just made for fun. Young boy, Dad grew up at that club, so that was where I was, and then went to Para Hills Knights for my juniors up until about under, I'm going to say 15s, and then went into the Sassy setup, similar to Alex. Then from Sassy, I believe I had 1 year with Para Hills Knights in the first team. I think Alex was in that team as well, if my memory's correct. And then from that year, I went to the Adelaide United youth team, spent probably a couple of years in that youth team setup, and then got my first professional deal with the first team. So yeah, stayed there for probably 5 or 6 years, I think it is, and then made a move, wanted to change a lifestyle, wanted to test myself, so went to Newcastle in Sydney, spent 2 years there. Then I went to Perth Glory for only 8 months. I signed a 3-year deal there, but went for 8 months, and I had an offer from India, which I couldn't sort of turn down. So I went to India, signed a 2-year there, but only ended up staying for about 6 months because I tore my ACL. So came back, did the rehab, and then got a deal with Adelaide United, which was my last year in professional setup, and then now with the mighty Red Devils at Campbelltown. And yeah, that's my journey. Not so in depth, but yeah, pretty straightforward.
No, it's perfect. I suppose we will get on to the game on the week against Adelaide City. It was a very tough game. I was there commentating. I guess sort of Alex, I guess I'll go with you as the captain. Your overall thoughts on a match, which you didn't come on the right end of, but you did have that late fight back as well through that goal as well.
Yeah, I think it was a good display of two really top sides with some really good players playing as well. Yeah, I think Adelaide City are a really good outfit. I think they've got a lot of pace, especially on the flanks that kind of hurt us at times. But I thought, yeah, like I said, I thought both teams showed glimpses of some real quality. It was difficult going into the break, going down. But I thought the boys came out in the second half and performed really well. I think in the past, the past couple of games there's probably been periods where we haven't showed much character or haven't showed much, I guess, will and want to win the game and take the game by the scruff of the neck. But I think in the second half we really showed some real grit and some determination And in the end, I thought we were quite unlucky. Obviously, we equalised quite late through a great header through Gavros O'Doherty. And then, look, it's a heartbreaker when you can see that late. But when you got players that quick on the flanks, they'll always pose a threat, and and that's what happened. But I just think our team's just starting to click. I think we've been riddled with a couple of key injuries over the last month or 2 months, and I can really see a real strong team unit, especially developing in that second half of a game against LA City, who really destroyed us in the preseason. So, look, I think while the result wasn't great or didn't fall our way, I think there's really bright things for us heading towards the back end of the halfway of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan, I guess from your perspective, from the back, how did you see things on the weekend?
Yeah, Alex summed it up really well. It was a tough game. You were there watching. It was a bit of biff. There was some big tackles, which just showed both teams really wanted to win. So it was good to see a lot of character shown by everyone. I know it's cliche, but maybe something that I hadn't really seen, or we hadn't really seen this far. So no, there was lots of positive signs. Although we didn't get any points from it, I'm sure we learned a lot from it. And if we sort of drew that game, you wouldn't have looked too deep into it. You would have thought, oh, okay, draw's a fair result. But because we lost, you look deeper into it and you look at ways to improve, which is good. I'm looking forward to implementing that this weekend against White City.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just on the game, it was a very tough-fought game. I won't mention any tackles in particular, but some made it very hard to be careful with my words in the commentary box as they were played on replay half the time. Next, I'll go to, we spoke about it earlier this morning, your celebration, Jordan, the emu. To start off, is it your celebration? Are you claiming it as yours?
Well, Seb, have you ever seen anyone else do an emu in professional sport?
Riley McGree's the only other one, and a few others. So
I
I'll give it to you.
After he first did it, I messaged him. I think I put like ... just to see what he was saying. I don't know. He just said he's bringing the emu worldwide, so he's taking the emu worldwide. It's not a great celebration, is it? To be honest, he brings it out more than I did. So my career,
are you saying that now that he's using it, it's not a good celebration?
Yeah. I'll still use it. It's a point of difference.
No, absolutely. It was very good to see. And Alex, just one more from me. Obviously, your last names are very famous and one with a very large family. How is it being coached by, or you have now been coached by multiple Mullens, and including at this point in time by 2?
Yeah, I'm just kind of used to it. I think the large majority of my career I've been coached by either my uncle or now my cousin. It's different in terms of like there are certain things about it that you have to kind of like, I guess, draw the line in the sand and realize that, okay, I'm not your cousin right now. You're actually my coach. And that sometimes that is difficult. But nothing, and, same with my uncle as well, but nothing that I've ever had to think too hard about. And look, if I'm honest, I've learned a lot of both of them. I think they're incredibly knowledgeable about the game. And I think the biggest thing I've learned from both of them is just how they deal with people, their man management skills. So yeah, like while everyone always talks about, what's it like, Mullens and all that stuff, I've never really thought about it. In fact, I've quite enjoyed it. I get on with them really well, which helps as well. But yeah, I never had an issue at all, really. And they've never really treated me any differently to any other player, which I think is the key. And I think that's why it works so well. But yeah, I summarize it as just it's actually a pleasure, to to be able to share the field and also, play under them, a family member as well. They're core memories of my career and my life. So, what better way to do that with a family member? So, yeah, I've enjoyed the whole experience.
Yeah, really good to hear. Before I do move on to the other two, I do have 3 viewer questions as well, which have been submitted during the past 2 days. The first one almost conveniently follows on from the last question. For Jordan, from Adrian Zajac. Jordan, who's your favourite Mullen?
Oh,
So you have to be careful because 2 are your coaches and one of them is your captain. So
that's an easy one. It's Michael Mullen, so that doesn't get me in trouble. I can't pick Isaac because he plays for the enemy. So Michael Mullen.
Grandad Mullen won't be happy with you, mate.
Oh yeah, Grandad.
Next one from Jared Clark. I assume this is for the both of you. Best pub in the East?
Oh, in the East. Well, I'm new to the East. I'm more kind of northeast growing up. I've only moved kind of to Ross Trevor area in the last year or so. But it'd be hard not to say the Reds because they are one of our main sponsors. But I do love the Feathers. I was actually there for Mother's Day on the weekend with my wife and my in-laws, and yeah, it was a good day.
I know why he's asking that, because remember we played him, and then it's good that the other team always stays and you have a few beers, talk about the game. And I think we got kicked out of Campbelltown's ground, so then we went to the Glint Hotel for a little bit. Just a little bit.
That's right. You've rejigged my memory. That was I gotta be careful because probably a few people watching. But that was a later night than expected, that one. Yeah. It was a good night. Very tame. The Glen. Well done, Jared. I remember.
And final questions from @J_O'Doherty, so I've got no clue who this is. Hey guys, big fan. I assume this is the 2 of you and not us, because that would be unfortunate. Have you guys ever had an argument with each other on the pitch?
Do you want to go, Els? Or should I?
Yeah, you can go, but we haven't.
I'll let you go. I'll let you go because you're the one that yelled at me. He's talking about.
You started it.
Well, yeah. As a centre back, I need my midfielders where I need them, and Alex didn't take it nicely when I told him where to be once. So, and I might have said something a bit silly to him.
No, it was This is what I love playing with Jordan Elsey. I love it because he's a leader and he has a certain expectation of players' responsibilities and their roles. But this particular moment, I know what Gavin we like to call him. He doesn't like Gavroff, he likes Gavin. He's bringing up the game against Comets this year, and Elsey's obviously a relatively new player. And out of nowhere, he just started screaming at me for, I can't even remember what it was for. Everyone was just taken back. But yeah, like I said, it was probably there's probably a good reason for it. And like I said, that's what we need more of, to be honest. We need more of that, that grit and that grunt and the expectation that everyone does their role. But yeah, we kissed and made up later on quite quickly, so it was fine.
All right, Mark, on to you for your questions.
I'll start with Jordan. You spoke about playing, obviously, in Bengal. You played for East Bengal Football Club. How did that move come about? And also the fact that I saw some footage of you playing over there, and the crowd. It was like watching something out of a fairy tale. Supporters everywhere cheering you. I mean, I remember seeing a video of you with one of the young lads on your shoulder. And What was that experience like? Because this is your obviously coming out of a bus on to one of the games. Like this just must have been incredible.
Yeah, that was actually to training, so that makes it even a bit more.
What?
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible. First of all, for the deal, just an agent reach out. Jordan O'Doherty was there the season before, so probably they were looking at another Australian, or I'm not sure what their recruitment. I don't know why they were looking at me, but they did. An agent just said, "There's a team interested. Would you consider this?" So once you add up all the money and everything else, and the life change and the challenge, I think it was a good decision. Obviously, I didn't plan on getting injured, so that didn't make it too worthwhile. But and then talking about the crowds, we were getting. I think that one photo of me with the kid on our shoulder was a derby, and there was about 70,000 there. So it was pretty crazy. And especially being tall, big, like tall, blonde, blue eyes, definitely stick out over there. So I don't know for the football or just because of what I look like. So I'm not too sure, but I enjoyed it. It was a good vibe there.
And then the next question I got for you is being a pro footballer for such a long time. How do you then go about transitioning back to what we'll call semi-pro football here in SA? How's that transition been for you? Has it? It wouldn't have been easy. Obviously, you'd have to then find a job doing something other than football, or finding something pro or in football here in SA, which isn't easy. How have you gone with the transition? How did you find it? What's some of the hard things you had to learn pretty quickly?
Yeah, definitely difficult. I would say I'm probably still in that transition. To be fair, it takes a long time, and I've spoken to a lot of ex-pros, and they said, it takes a long time to get used to that. Not only me get used to it, but my family to get used to. I don't know, not having me around all the time. So, always liked real estate when I was playing. Always loved to look at houses, loved to know what they sold for. So. And I didn't study when I was playing, so I thought, what's something I can do without a degree and sort of earn a bit of money. So real estate it was. So working with Ray White now, enjoying it. It's definitely a challenge and a big change from what I was used to, getting home at 12:30 every day and then sort of doing whatever for the afternoon. Days are a lot different. I have to pack my lunch now, which is a big change. Sounds so silly, but it's a big change, a big challenge, which I'm giving it a good crack. So we'll see what the future holds with that.
And lastly, I've actually got a viewer question for you. It's from a Richard Watkins from Alice Springs, I think he said he was. He said, how's the knees going to hold up now that you're not in the pro circuit? Are they going to be all right?
I think that's actually my uncle. I don't know what he's doing in Darwin. The knees. I haven't heard about the knees for a while. The knees have been strong. My last ACL surgery was actually in India, so I had to have it over there because of insurance. So that was a really big eye opener to have it in their hospitals. Is a bit different to what I'm used to here. But yeah, recovered well. Just got to look after that hamstring, which I injured earlier this year. So, but feeling strong, feeling good. With the gym behind me, of course.
I was going to say, you got the home gym, you're all set.
Yeah.
Alex, yourself, you had that short stint in the A-League, as you said, the mature rookie. I don't feel you probably had the chances that I think you as a player that you deserved. I think you should have probably had a lot more. Sorry, the dog's barking. How you didn't obviously get the game time, but what was that experience like? You said it was good, but what was that experience like for you? And on the back of that, what's some advice for people that are sort of looking at that as a possibility for themselves?
Yeah, it was a great experience. I look back at it as probably the most important year of my life, to be honest, in terms of creating the kind of person I am now. Yeah, it was good, but it was very difficult. I was signed as a 20. I think I was 25 at the time, so it wasn't like I was young and like a promising upcoming player. I was either gonna, sign and play or sign and not play, and kind of be put to a side really, because if I wasn't showing that I was better than everyone else, they would much rather, and I can see why, bringing a younger player to play ahead of me with probably years of a lot more potential. Yeah, I mean, I was brought into an environment where, at the time, Sydney were, one of the dominant teams in the A League. They in my position, they had players like Miko Tavares, Milos Ninkovic, Dimitrijevic, Brandon O'Neill. So they had some really good players in my position, and while I learnt a lot, and I felt really fit and felt up for it all the time. It got to the point where I got to the point where I was thinking, I need to kick these guys to get a go. So I was around. I was very fortunate to learn off some incredible players there. I did manage to play a few games, but yeah, I don't think it was kind of the club for me for my first kind of professional contract. But look, I was grateful for the opportunity. Anyway, learnt a lot as a footballer, learnt a lot as a person, and I think it paved the way, in terms of coming back to Adelaide and really focusing on enjoying the game more so than anything, and understanding that you need to be pretty determined and focused if you want to do well, not just in football but in life as well. So yeah, it was a great experience. I actually forget what the first question was. Was there a question to that?
No, it was just more about that time and how you felt it went, obviously. But off the back of that, you now, as you said, it sort of helped you become the person you are today. And like I said, I think Adelaide in general, the football here in general, is probably very grateful that it happened that way, because we then obviously got you back here into the NPL. That obviously you've been probably one of the best players in it for a number of years now. So I think Adelaide's probably very lucky that it worked out that way. Lastly from me, for the two of you, you're both early 30s now. What's the next step for you guys after you decide to hang up the NPL boots, or the State League 1 or the State League 2? What's next on the cards for the two of you? And I'm saying that I'm hoping that you've still got plenty of years in you, because I enjoy commentating on you guys playing. So I'm hoping it's not for at least another sort of, maybe, what are you, 32, 33, so at least another 5 years. So
yeah, look, I'll go first. I'm probably a little bit older. Yeah, so I'm 33, almost 34 now. So definitely getting towards the back end of my career. I've thought about it quite a bit. I love football. It's a large part of who I am. I've done it since I was 4 or 5 years old. So I always want to be involved in some capacity, and I feel like I've got a lot to give back to the game as well, especially at a local level. But there's a lot of opportunities these days. It's not just coaching. There's so many other opportunities in terms of being in committees, or even what you guys do. I think it's great what you guys do. I'm not sure. I've played under my uncle and my cousin for numerous years, and I guess I have a bit of an insight into the whole picture of coaching and what's involved in that. It's not just rock up and coach and go home. There's a lot of video analysis, and there's a lot of study on the next opponent, and there's also a lot of phone calls, a lot of man management that you need to do away from that hour and a half on a Monday, Tuesday, and a Thursday, and the game day. So there's a lot more involved in coaching than I think a lot of people think. And when you have that insight, it's like it's difficult to see if that's something that you would like and enjoy, knowing that it would take a lot of time away from your family and and take a lot of your mental load as well. So I'm undecided, but what I do know, I think football's my passion. I love it. I've met some amazing people in the game, and a lot of my career has been owed to the people that I've met through the game. So I can't see myself not doing anything in the game. So I'm just undecided as to where that role will be, I guess.
Well, we'll have a spot for you when you're ready, when you can come and join us, hear commentary, and I've also got your shirt in the Memorial game because I managed to get to play with three of the Mullens in the Memorial game the other week, so I've got a shirt ready for you to make it 4, and I'll be all set. I'm working my way through getting playing alongside all the Mullens at some stage.
Done.
In my post.
Sign me up. Done. Awesome.
And Elsey, yourself, mate. What about you? What's your plan?
My plan is to play for as long as I can. If
Please
you were
do.
to ask wanted to ask my wife, she would say quit tomorrow because I'm out of the house too much. But it's all I've known. To be fair, it's all I've known. So I'll keep playing. Once my son grows up until he's ready to start joining a team and playing, I might look at like pulling back the handbrake and sort of spending time on him and sort of getting him ready. And just enjoying his football career through him, living my dream again through him, hopefully. So, no thought about quitting or anything like that or putting the boots down. I don't know anything else, so I'll go until someone tells me to stop, or I end up at Paros East over 35s, something like that.
like I said, I'm hoping at least another 5 years from both of you, and then and one thing I've learned is it's a long time retired, so hang on to it as long as you can.
Absolutely.
David, to you.
Excuse me. I'll go to Jordan first. We've hopefully got. We've got a game against Auckland this weekend coming up, and it's an away trip that none of us would probably ever get to go on. But you yourself played over there and scored in that city the early part of last year. So I just wondered, what it's like to play in a domestic competition but still have that international travel element when you're preparing for a game in a place like New Zealand. What was that like? Was it different to preparing for a game in, say, Melbourne or and so on?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I used to love the away trips to Wellington because you're with the boys for like 4 days, so you usually leave a couple of days earlier to get used to the time difference and the jet lag. I know there's not that much bigger difference, but I used to really enjoy the away trips there. Different culture, but talking about the game, very strong Auckland side, very exciting to watch Adelaide United side. I haven't really got too many games this year, unfortunately. I've been a bit tired for time, but they're looking the real deal, so really looking forward to watching them on Friday night versus Auckland.
Yeah, it should be good. So, and just on that, just to talk a little bit more about your A-League career. Your name is listed there in the final that we all remember, the 2016 final. You didn't get on the park though, but I think you might have been, from memory, just maybe coming back from an injury at that time. I think they only allowed 3 subs as well, and there was 5 on the bench, and you're just one of the unused subs. But what were your memories of that day in particular?
Yeah, not just that day. That was sort of my wouldn't call it breakout season, but one of my most consistent seasons. I ended up playing 16 games in that season, so I had a few injuries in the centre back positions, and I ended up playing next to Dylan McGowan for a long part of that season. So I believe my memory is correct. Once it sort of started getting to finals, the foreigners started coming back, LaRocca, and obviously rightly so, top players. And I was on the bench that game. I was about to come on, and then he sort of changed his mind, but nevertheless, I was involved in the 10 or so months with the team and played a lot of games during the season. And that final obviously speaks for itself. We've seen so many videos about it, and it was a good night after. We enjoyed ourselves, and hopefully they can feel that same feeling this year.
Cool. You got a medal, right? They gave you a medal even though you didn't go in the park, right?
Yeah, I got a medal. I don't know where it is.
Good.
I think it's at Mum and Dad's house. I think. I hope so.
Alex, you've been around the traps for a wee while. I just wondered if you could tell us, when you were a wee nipper, who the players were that were around when you started out that you sort of looked up to. Maybe excluding some of the Mullens in this occasion. Who were the sort of players that were maybe coming towards the end of your career, or even in your time in Sydney, and you can include your experience in the US. Who were the players or the coaches that were sort of influencing you at that point in time?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I mean, Para Hills. I was actually speaking in the change room to Elsey about this, I think. But players like, I don't know if you remember these names, but Aaron Golding and David Bounds.
Yeah.
Simon Catanzaro at the very back end of his career, he signed with Para Hills as well. Even Nathan Fleetwood.
Yep.
He signed with Para Hills for about 8 games. And I think his knee was just finished at the end of his career. But even at training, you could see the quality that he had. Yeah, in America, there's some great players actually. There was a player from Colombia called Shadi Hart that went on to play for Portland. Isaiah Schaefer was another one. Tom Allison was an English defender that was my roommate, who was a really great player as well. And then at Sydney, it was always Milos Ninkovic for me, just probably the best footballer I've ever played with or against. And he was just a true gentleman as well. Just would always kind of chat to me not only about football but things outside of football too. And then probably lastly, Alex Bross was another one that would regularly catch up with me every couple of weeks just to see how I was going. He didn't have to. I wasn't playing much, and as a leader, I always remembered that. And I think having that quality as a person is something that I looked up to a lot. So they're probably the names that I'll remember the most.
It's a very impressive list.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jordan Nelson.
Of course. Well done. and lastly, in the local leagues, and this is open to both of you, who are the players out there that you face on a weekend, or you might be facing on a weekend, that you dread, that you think, oh, this guy is very good, he's really next level, he's the one that has the potential to show me up today? Who are the players out there in the local comp that you feel really give you a run for your money on a Saturday afternoon?
Do you want to go else, or I'll go?
No, I'll let you go with that one.
It's kind of changed over the course of my local league career. I always had great battles with Alan Welsh. We always seemed to kind of man mark each other and basically, box the whole game. I always had a good battle with him, and that was one that I always remember, because at the end of the game, we would always kind of shake hands, be like, yeah, that was good. That was tough. He was always one, especially when he was in that prime, when he was winning those Sergio Melter awards. He was a great player, so effective, could do a lot of things, a really good all-rounder. The player that really stands out for me, and I've said this to numerous players at Campbelltown, is Nawel Bernarda. He played for Metro Stars. He was a left footer. I think he only had played a couple of years. But he was a player that I thought locally was the best I've ever played against. He had everything. He was quick, strong. He was good in the air, and he was a great finish as well. I think he ended up going to Melbourne, South Melbourne. Yeah. After his stint at Metro, but he was a player that I couldn't believe couldn't go on, or no club picked him up. And then you got nowadays, I'm thinking now you got still some great players. I think Nick Bucco's still a cut above. He's always effective. Hamish Gow now as well is is a technically gifted and humble and great person as well. So they're probably the players that spring to mind for me over my local league career.
Okay, cool. And Jordan, any for you?
Yeah, haven't really played many games, to be fair. Alex just jogged my memory there. Hamish Gow, very talented. He scored a bomb against us, I think, early in the season. So, yeah, he's very talented. And what strikers have I played against? The Japanese boy over the weekend. Wasn't really expecting to be as tough as he was, if that makes sense. He threw his weight around and is very smart striker. So, yeah, he was...
Kitano.
He was handful, yeah.
Good. Well, that's all from me, Seb.
But
unless,
right back.
Unless I now do my...
David Grant quiz production.
Okay.
Don't laugh. You're meant to laugh.
I know.
It's a serious thing.
I know what I should. Right, you ready? Because you can edit this out. Okay, now the serious part starts. It is the quickfire quiz. I've got a series of questions for you, Alex and Jordan. You've got a minute to answer as many of them as you can. There are no really right or wrong answers. It's just about trying to get through them as quickly as you can. Who would like to go first? Okay, Alex, I picked you. Yeah, I picked him. Okay, Seb, we'll start the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Alex Mullen, what's your favourite ground in South Australia to play at?
Campbelltown.
There's no doubt Campbelltown will win the grand final this year, but who do you think will win the minor premiership, top of the ladder?
Adelaide City.
Yeah, you played FK Beograd for the second time this season on Saturday. Who scored the 2 Campbelltown goals when you played them in the Cup earlier on this year?
Against who? Sorry, say that again.
FK Beograd. You can pass.
Maury and...
What?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Labasso. Are you older than Jordan Elsey?
I don't look at it, but yes.
You've had 2 yellow cards this year, Alex. Were they both deserved?
No.
Which teammate needs the most disciplining?
Julian Leggio, the Mantis.
Okay, and the last one. Is Dom Liam Bruno as tough as he looks?
Yep. Very, very tough. Scary
Okay.
man.
Okay.
Not really.
I'm not sure how many got through there.
Well done.
Anyway.
Good question.
I tried to evade them. I did them about 20 minutes ago, as you know. All right. Jordan, are you ready for your quickfire questions, pal?
Yeah. And I can pass, can I? Because you didn't tell Alex that, because he took 30 seconds on my question.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I should. It's just a new rule I invented tonight. Actually, I don't think we've had the option to pass it, but I've never had anyone take so long to answer a
Can't
question.
change the rules halfway through the David Grant quiz production.
I'll give it a go. No passes.
Okay. All right, Seb.
3, 2, 1.
Jordan Elsey, what's your favourite ground to play at in South Australia?
Campbelltown.
That's the correct answer, yes. How many league goals has Alex Mullen scored so far this season?
2.
Yes. You play away to FK Beograd this weekend. What's your score prediction for that match?
3-0, clean sheet, win.
You've had 2 yellow cards this year as well, Jordan. Were they both deserved?
I can't remember. So probably yes.
Okay, what's your earliest football memory?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Pass.
Pass.
Advice? Any advice for young players?
Train hard. Listen to your coaches.
Do you have any pre-match superstitions, Jordan Elsey?
Yeah, shin pads right and left. Northern.
Well done. And the last question: is Dom Liam Bruno as tough as he looks?
He's hard as nails, mate. That guy. He's tough. Have you seen his tattoos? He's a scary guy, man.
He's not yet given me the liberty of viewing his body yet. No, so I haven't seen the tattoos. I've not been afforded that luxury.
I don't go in the showers when he's in there. I'm a bag of nerves. I hang outside.
That's it from me, Seb.
No, thank you,
Very
David.
good.
Thank you to the both of you for joining us. Was very much a pleasure. Good luck for this weekend. Anything else from you, Mark or David, before we let them go?
No, just thank you for coming on, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys, and thank you, honestly, for all your efforts promoting the local game. We appreciate it more than you think.
Thank you.
One other thing, Seb, just before they go.
Yeah.
Congratulations are in order for Alex Mullen and partner, aren't they? On behalf of the one game at a time broadcast fiasco that we run, you're expecting. So hearty congratulations from all of us. Well done.
Thank you, David. I appreciate it. A little girl coming in September, so can't wait. Can't wait for that
That's awesome.
chapter of my life. So thank you.
Cool.
And thank you to both
Excellent.
your wives for letting you come on too. Much appreciated.
Well played. Thank you.
Way to put it in right at the end.
That's it.
No, thank you for the both of you. Great pleasure. Thank you so much. Good luck this weekend, and yeah, thanks again.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Good fun. We got there in the end, guys.
That
Very
was
good
good.
chat, though. Very enjoyable. All right, we'll go on to the results from the past weekend, starting in the State League 2. In the North, Barossa and Gawler Eagles playing out a 2-2 draw. Elizabeth Downs and Port Adelaide as well, but with 1-1. Northern Demons and Inter, another 2-2 draw. Elizabeth Grove losing 3-0 to Pontian Eagles, and Angle Vale losing 7-0 to Mowbray Vista in the South. Noarlunga United defeated 2-0 by Seaford Rangers in the derby at the Dog Pound, or the Dog? It was Dog Pound, not the Dog House.
The Dog Pound. The Dog
The
Pound.
Dog Pound.
The Pound.
Garn, the Garn beating Adelaide Uni 6-1 at University Ovals on Friday night. Hills Hawks 4-1 over Plinton Mount Barker, 3-4 losers against Western Strikers, and Adelaide Titans 2-0 losers to Vipers FC. I suppose, I don't know how much you did see of it, but you were up that way, David. Barossa and Gawler Eagles.
Yes, I was. I got there. I got there after the game had started because I was doing a little wine tour on my way up to the Barossa.
Yeah,
There's no point in going there, is there?
Wine spelt WHINE because you were complaining about how long away it was from your house.
That's good. Well, it's true. I mean, it only took me about an hour and 20 to get there. But the way back, I didn't fancy coming back through the country because I live in the country. So I decided to come back through the city. So the journey back was about an hour and 35, hour and 40. So it was a 3-hour round trip for me. And I had on the way up, I stopped off and I did have lunch. And there was a place. I'm digressing a little bit already, but
No, I love this.
There was a place that had an advert that said the best pizzas in the Barossa Valley. I thought, well, if you're going to make that claim, I'm going to have to, step in here and try it. And I got in there, right? This is going to sound a little bit racist, but it's not. But when I got in there, it wasn't the pizzas I associate with Italians, right?
Yeah.
The establishment wasn't owned or run by Italians. And Italians do pizza and pasta and that very, very well. Other people do those foods not quite as well. And basically my pizza, the best pizza in the Barossa Valley, cost me $25. And it was basically a sea of melted cheddar with some pepperoni on top. Anyway, I completely digress. I'm sorry for that.
You ordered a Hawaiian.
I ordered it. Well, I thought there might have been tomato in it. There wasn't even tomato in it.
Oh, really?
No, it was just basically melted cheddar, a sea of melted cheddar with, it was terrible. And subsequently had a lot of trouble passing it all out the other end, of course, with all that cheese.
So on the game.
Listen, I got to the game, but I missed the start because because I'd called in for a little food on the way up. What I saw, so I missed the early part of it. Barossa United were 1-0 up at half time. They'd scored their opening goal through Pujan at Rai in the 19th minute, but I missed that. So it was 1-0 at half time. And in the second half, fairly evenly matched second half, I thought. And then Barossa United got another goal through Rashidi Tambwe in the 71st minute. But after they scored that goal, they took their foot right off the gas. And it was all Gawler Eagles for the last 20 minutes. And Barossa just didn't get a sniff. And 2 late goals scored in the, let me see it, the substitute came on, Antonino Gattuso in the 87th minute, and then an own goal, Nicholas Fry of Barossa United putting the ball into his own net. I think a draw was probably a fair result from what I saw, but Barossa were just completely outclassed towards the end. I thought Gawler would just look great in that last 20 minutes, but a fairly even contest up to that point. But it just shows you've got to stay switched on. If you've got a 2-0 lead and you've only got a few minutes left, you've just got to soak it all up and stay switched on and see the game out, because I felt that's what Barossa United didn't do. They didn't see the game out, and I think Gawler were worth the point. So it's probably the most comprehensive State League 2 game review that I can give you, because it's the first one I've seen this year. I'll just have to go back to the ladder to look at the other results in State League 2 North. But I enjoyed my time up there. The folk at Barossa United were very hospitable. And it's a lovely little setting up there. You were there with me last year, Seb.
Mm-hmm.
And, good luck to Barossa. I hope they get some results on the board. So anyway, the draw was their first point in a few weeks. It's only their second draw of the season. This is Barossa United I'm talking about. Only their second draw of the season. The only 2 teams that won at the weekend were Pontian up at the top and Modbury Vista, of course. Pontian Eagles having a 3-0 win away to Elizabeth Grove. And that result, sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place here. That result gives them a 3-point buffer at the top, because Salisbury Inter dropped points. They drew with Northern Demons. So a 2-2 draw for Salisbury Inter, and that combined with Pontian Eagles' win over Grove gives Eagles a 3-point buffer at the top. Modbury Vista, though, they had a 7-0 win over Angle Vale, and that's accelerated them up to 3rd spot, because Elizabeth Downs beneath them drew with Port Adelaide 1-1. So the top 3, Pontian Eagles on 19, Salisbury Inter on 16, Modbury Vista on 12, and Elizabeth Downs dropping the points there to just to get the draw at the weekend. I think that's all the games covered, goodness me, for State League 2 North.
We'll go to Mr. South in March.
I was going to say
South.
I'll jump onto the South. Seaford. We'll start with the Seaford Noarlunga game being the derby at the Pound. Big night. They also had their past players game before that, which Seaford won that as well on the night. So great day all round for Seaford. So they got the win there. That's 4 wins in their last 5 games. So they're sitting second at the table, 15 points. Garn with their massive win over Adelaide Uni, probably very much unexpected, to be honest. So when I say unexpected scoreline wise, it's probably very unexpected, with a 6-1 win, I think it was in the end. They're now sitting third, 5 wins. Lost their first 2 games, now 5 games on the spin. They've won all 5. They've got Titans up next, who lost on the weekend. They were sitting top of the table. They'd won 5 straight, and now they've lost their last 2. So exact reversal to Garn's season. Western Strikers finding some form as well. Now 3 games on the trot with another win on the weekend. They're coming up against Plimpton next week, so that will be a very interesting game for them, as they'll be looking to obviously make that a 4th win. What else have we got there? Vipers beating Adelaide Titans. Like I said, Titans have started to fall off lose form at the moment. They started off very well. Vipers now sitting top of the table by a point clear over Seaford. So no team in the South has gone through undefeated so far, whereas in the North, actually, there is a team still sitting, which is Pontians. They haven't actually lost a game yet. What else do we have there? So, like I said, Garn, we've done. I think that's pretty much all. Obviously, Western Strikers, with their win, they beat Mount Barker. Mount Barker, unfortunately, losing again, which hasn't helped them at all. Now they're currently sitting bottom of the table behind Plimpton, who have got that 1 victory. And the other game, Adelaide Hills Hawks, they won again on the weekend, and it was actually a relatively good win. I think it was 4-1 in the end over Plimpton. And with that win, they've now jumped to 6 points, 8 on the table, but 2 wins on the bounce after their smashing of Mount Barker the week before. So good news for Adelaide Hills Hawks there. They've got some players have returned from yesteryear in the likes of Hoskins and Kyle Markham. So I'm expecting some more positive results for Adelaide Hills Hawks. I think that pretty much covers State League 2 South.
Perfect. We'll go on to the WSL. Adelaide Jaguars and Sturt Lions playing out at West Beach. Sturt coming 3-1 winners with 2 very early goals as well in that one. To Adelaide City, 2-0 winners over Cove. South Adelaide defeated 2-1 by Elizabeth Grove. And Modbury Jets 4-1 over Western Strikers. That Jaguars and Sturt game, David, was an interesting one we looked at last week because, it's sort of before that, the top of the table was a bit of a 3-horse race. Jaguars with the result sort of fall that just a little bit more behind Adelaide City in second, though.
Yeah, I mean, there are some games being played out at the top between these teams that are 6-pointers and have the potential to end a season. Ruby Phillips opened the scoring for Jaguars in the second minute. Izzy Barchiesi scoring an equaliser just 2 minutes later. So it was 1-1 after just 4 minutes of play. Barchiesi popped up in the 60th minute to get her second. And the team's second, and Kaylee Wakeling scoring with 2 minutes to go sealed the deal for Sturt. It is a result that keeps Sturt top of the table. They are 2 points clear of Adelaide City, who did have a win, albeit 2-0 against Lowly Cove. I'll say Lowly Cove because they are 6 and they've had a poorer start to the season than I think we were expecting. That's no disrespect to Cove. I'm sure they'll bounce back, but they do have Sturt next week, so I'm not sure if the bounce back will happen straight away. But yeah, a massive result in terms of what happens at the top of the table. There's now a 4-point gap between Jaguars and Adelaide City at the top of the table, and bearing in mind that the top team goes up and the team that finishes runner-up gets a playoff spot. There's nothing for third, fourth and so on. So Jaguars now 4 points adrift of Adelaide City, and we're just over a third of the way. We're just over 2/3 of the way through this season, I think, because they play each other
nearly
3
halfway.
Times, don't they?
Really,
Yeah.
in terms of the season as a whole, we're just about halfway.
Yeah. But these teams, they play each other 3 times in this league, don't they? It's not 4 times.
Do.
So
but I mean, in terms of timeline, we're technically halfway through, I guess.
Oh, in terms of timeline, we're halfway through, but in terms of fixtures, they've started playing the second of their 3 games against each other. So, they'll start to, teams like Jaguars will start to rely on results going their way by teams lower than them to beat teams above them, and that's not really where you want to be. So a difficult game, I would say, for Jaguars to lose, and it now puts Sturt. I mean, Sturt have got a full 6-point gap between themselves and Jaguars. Just on the other scores, just a bit further down the table, South Adelaide losing narrowly 2-1 to Elizabeth Grove. South Adelaide still sitting bottom after that. Maybe a bit unlucky not to have got something out of that. Modbury Jets 4-1 winners over Western Strikers, as you mentioned in that game as well. Russell, Heron and Harimana, the goal scorers in that game for Modbury Jets. And it's a result as well that gives Modbury Jets maybe a little bit of hope as they sort of try and keep tabs with Elizabeth Grove sitting in 4th. But Cove, Western Strikers and South Adelaide all losing their games. And really, you could say out of the race now for at least second spot.
Perfectly comprehensive as always, David. With that, we'll go right on to SL1. Cumberland United defeated 2-0 by Cove. Adelaide Olympic 2-0 winners over Adelaide Cobras. Modbury Jets 4-1 over South Adelaide. Salisbury United losing 2-1 to Adelaide Atletico. Adelaide Croatia Raiders and Adelaide Blue Eagles playing a goal fest 4-3 to Adelaide Croatia. Blue Eagles way against Adelaide Croatia Raiders. But David, you were at the game of the round. Eastern United versus Fulham United. The one which you spoke to me and Mark about it, and we said, "Yep, that's that." You wanted to do a State League 1 game. That was the place to go. That's going to have plenty of goals. 0-0.
Yeah. And my third 0-0 for the year, having watched a 0-0 between Metro Stars and West Hornsby and the men, and a 0-0 at Campbelltown Women versus somebody else as well. So, yeah.
Sorry, we spoke, David, about this 0-0 thing. I went back in my own record. I don't think I've had a 0-0 since 2024 in terms of in the local league. So you're very unlucky.
Well, I think I'd been commentating. I think I'd been doing this nonsense for maybe 3 years before I had a 0-0, maybe 4 years. Last year I had Adelaide Comets and Modbury Jets playing out a 0-0 draw. And in a difficult game to watch.
One of the games of all time.
If I'm honest, yeah. So, look, it's a gamble. You know, I thought I'd go try a State League One, take myself out of my comfort zone and commentate on two teams I've never really seen before. Well, I have, but not on a weekly basis. Look, the hospitality at Eastern United is second to none. Mr. Gab Markay looked after me no end. He even invited me into the team meeting before the game, where they went through all of their approach to the game, their tactics and so on. They're just, and they fed after the game as well, so no complaints about the hospitality. The game itself to watch wasn't that bad. It was open enough, but neither keeper really had a testing save to make. It did finish nothing each. Great scaffold there if you're thinking of going. A little bit difficult to get into, but once Gab had put me over his shoulders and given me a fireman's lift up to level 1 and dropped me in, I was perfectly happy up there. Great little view, and it has a cover as well. So if you are thinking of doing a State League One game, I would highly recommend it. But yes, it did finish nothing each. And you're playing some highlights just now, but there wasn't really much to write home about. Fulham would have come away from that game disappointed, because had they got the points in that one, it would have taken them up to 19th. Their goal difference is good enough that they would have gone second. As it is, they only got the 1 point, so they're on 17. Cove had a win and go to 19 points. They beat Cumberland away 2-0 on the same night, and maybe a game I should have chosen instead, I don't know. Modbury Jets still going strong. 4-1 winners over South Adelaide up at the top of the table. Takes them up to 20 points, so they have a 1 point advantage over second place Cove. But Modbury Jets, remember, still have that game in hand. That match that was where the lights failed at Blue Eagles. So Modbury Jets, even with just a 1 point lead at the top, but still have that game in hand. I don't want to hog it all for you, Mark, but I'll just cover a couple more. So look, Eastern United, I think, would come away from that. They probably would have accepted a point before the game, but having played the game, I'm sure they came off the park thinking, it would have been good to get a win in that. A win would have put just a little bit more daylight between themselves and the bottom two sides, South Adelaide and Salisbury United. South Adelaide, as we mentioned before, losing 4-1 to Modbury Jets. And Salisbury United, nearly but not quite, 2-1 losers at home to Adelaide Atletico. Jacob Vanderhout scoring the goal for Salisbury United, but Sebastian Rapuano, the captain for Atletico, scoring in the 61st minute, and Pablo Correa scoring in the 73rd minute. So Salisbury United did have a 1-0 lead up there, but losing out eventually. And I think that's just about it. Do you know what I was just going to say about that Salisbury ground? Because I watched a few of the highlights there. It's a great ground. I did one game up there last year in finals, and when you look out from that stand, it does look like they're playing out in a paddock. But I noticed their VO the other day. I saw some of their VO footage the other day. And when the camera's pointing back, it is. You see that main stand. It's a great little ground they've got up there. And it's another ground, if you get fans going out mental there.
That's what I saw.
If you get a chance to do a game there, fellas, as well, I would encourage you to do so. Another great ground to commentate at. I'm not sure what games that leaves you, Mr. Talbot, but
That's
I'm
right.
exhausted. It's tiring when there's only two of you, isn't it?
It is. I think we haven't touched on the Raiders Blue Eagles game. I think you missed that one out, which is good. That's the one that had all the goals in it. So Raiders took a 3-1 lead actually in this game, and then it became the Dodero show. We got to see what he's made of, and I tell you what, he's a fantastic player, and in this game he really showed that, and he actually took out a hat-trick, 52, 67 and 75 minutes. So it's effectively not a long time to score a hat-trick really, but Blue Eagles, they took the early lead, and then then Croatia Raiders decided to start playing again. They went King Burns scoring, Uwineza and Chikwuba scoring, and then, like I said, Dodero took over after that and scored his hat-trick. So great result for Blue Eagles. They needed a big result, considering they haven't got the results they would have wanted so far this season. That's for sure. Currently, they're down in 8th. They were on 8 points before that game, so they've now actually jumped to 11 points, and they're now only 4 points behind Raiders, who are currently sitting in 6th. So it was a massive win for Blue Eagles in the end. Like I said, they've struggled this season, that's for sure. And I think what else we got? We got the. I do want to show some of these goals from the Dero, but you certainly have to watch the goals wrap from the Federation to see them, because some of them were very well taken goals, that's for sure. Then we had Olympic played against LA Cobras in one of the Greek derbies. Olympic coming away with a 2-0 win over Cobras in the end. Aquil and Lobo scoring the 2 goals to give them the lead, and with that they've got Olympic have jumped to 16 points after 9 games. But the worrying sign for Cobras is that slow decline after such an amazing start to the season that they had. They've really sort of dropped off, to be honest. They've struggled. They're now down in 7th, 12 points, and that's 5 losses on the bounce.
But remarkably, we'll go into it in a bit, they're in the qualifying final of the Australia Cup.
Yes.
So
they certainly are.
Yeah, astounding.
Yeah, cup team at the moment. But yeah, 5 in the league. They won their first 4. Then they've lost their next 5. They've only played 9 games. They haven't drawn a game yet. So it's either win or a draw, win or a loss. But yeah, so a bit of a worrying sign for Cobras in the end. But like I said, they've got the cup to come up. That's keeping them going well at the moment. So you never know what can happen in obviously a one-off cup game. So we'll just have to wait and see. And that's pretty much, I think, all of State League 1.
Perfect. We will go on to the cup. Well, 3. What is it? 3 quarters of the cup round of the quarter final that was played last night. Just crazy stuff. Adelaide Cobras 4-2 after extra time against Para Hills. Cumberland defeating Adelaide City 1-0. And FK Beograd 1-0 against Atletico in a very, very tight match. It is quite insane because you look back at a few years ago where we did have Modbury, Eastern, and Vipers as well in the qualifying finals.
Yeah.
But in a way, this feels quite different because it's also, again, with all respect to these state league sides, Cobras, as you said, they aren't doing well at the moment.
No.
Cumberland are sitting out of finals. Fulham are 3rd place in State League 1. Of course, that game's next week. So technically, with no offence to these sides, it is probably one of the most unpredictable ends to this cup I think we've seen in a very long time, especially with the national stage on the line too.
Yeah, I think you're right there. It's very unpredictable. It's again, it seems to be a couple of teams certainly concentrating on the cup, whereas I think some of the bigger when I say bigger teams, the higher MPL teams, maybe not considering it as high profile in the earlier rounds, and it's cost them, because now you look at it and you go, okay, Cumberland are through. They beat Adelaide City, so massive scalp there for them. And you sort of go, and Cobras are now through, so you sort of go, and for them, that's, imagine they next game they could be on the national stage. So they've really taken it seriously. It's great. I'm not saying the other teams didn't, but when you sometimes, like I said, resting players or and things like that, then yeah, it can backfire. Like I said, some teams really could really have gone well on the national stage, and I'm not saying these teams can't, but it's great for it just shows you that the difference that it's maybe not as big a gap, and it is only 1 game, but it may be not as a big a gap, but over the course of the season, it's a different story. But it's just great that there's the opportunity for cup sets. That's what it comes about. Then these clubs everyone gets behind them, and everyone loves a good cup set. Simple as that.
Just going to you, David. I looked at it for this cup season, I guess you can call it. There have been 8 cup sets, which I'm considering, is for context, is basically just a team lower level defeating league above, whether that be amateurs against State League 2, State League 2, State League 1, whatever. Do you think there's a reason as to why this year in particular it's been so common? And I suppose we have commented about it, how State League 1 this year itself is such an entertaining league to look at every week. Even when you're looking at results, you don't know how to predict it. You don't know who's going to be top. You don't know who's going to be in that top 6, who's in the relegation zone. It's so unpredictable. And do you think that unpredictability of State League 1 this year has sort of gone in favour of these sides in the Cup too?
I'm not sure that you get like a season where there are, something's different in that, because your question essentially is it you're essentially asking what's different about this year, aren't you? You're just saying is this a coincidence? In my opinion, right, there's always the chance of an upset in the Cup. That will always happen through a round. But I think what can happen is if you're playing against Adelaide Cobras, if you both got a cup game coming up and you're a State League 1 side and you're playing against Adelaide Cobras on a Saturday and your cup game's coming up on Thursday, but they've got their cup game on the Wednesday, and you see them go out and you see them knock off a top tier side, an NPL side, it maybe gives you a little bit more belief, and that belief can be infectious. So what happens is you go out on the Thursday night after seeing Cobras, I'm just using them as an example, knock off an NPL side, and then you go out on the Thursday night and playing your NPL opponent, and you go, Cobras did this last night, teams like us are capable of doing this, and you go out, you play a blinder, and you knock your opponent off. I think it can cascade. I think that has that potential. It's just that this season I think it's cascaded more than maybe in other seasons, and to have 2 State League 1 sides in
possibly 3
in the semi-final. Well, yeah, at this stage 2, definitely, possibly 3 ultimately. It's really phenomenal. I do worry about how they'll go if they do end up winning their semi-finals and they both end up playing in the national stage. Because ultimately, once you get to that national stage, that round of 32, you're representing the state, not just your club, and all eyes are on you back here. So there's maybe a greater weight on them. I'd love to see a State League 1 side do well in the Cup, but I hope if they do well in the Cup that they'd go okay when it gets to the round of 32 and they've got Western Sydney Wanderers away. But I love the Cup. I honestly, I've been saying for I don't know how many years that the women should have the same opportunity. I think Community Division 1, Community Division 2, there's some good enough sides there. I go along and watch that every Sunday, and there's some good enough sides in there that I think they could challenge even well, maybe not the WNPL sides, but certainly the WSL sides. So why not open that up? Give those teams that are there's no promotion relegation from Division 1 to up to WSL. So it's a little bit stagnant in that respect, if that's the right word to use. It maybe isn't, but give them the opportunity to try their luck against the WSL side. I'd love to see how. I can't remember who's top of Community Division 1 right now. It's usually Pembroke or East Adelaide. I think FC Summit and Gan are up there this year. Why not give them a crack at playing against the WSL side in the Cup? I'd love to see that. Yeah. We digress from the men's, but yeah.
No, it'd be great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we'll go on to later our predictions for that Burkalla versus Fulham game being played next
week.
Tuesday. Forgot what it was. We'll go on to the WNPL for round 8. Adelaide Comets 3-1 winners over Metro Stars. Campbelltown City and Modbury Vista, a game in which we all picked to be a draw. 2 of us said 2-2. I think 2 of us said 3-3. And 2 of us were correct with it being a 3-all draw. Flinders 8-0 against Salisbury Inter. Salisbury Inter 8 goals, a Cote hat-trick. Crazy there. Burkalla 3-0 over Adelaide Uni. And West Adelaide against Football SA. Probably their tightest affair of the season so far, David, too.
Which one was that, sorry?
Football SA in West Adelaide.
Right, yeah, so Football SA are back in action, aren't they? They still have a game in hand, but yeah, you're right, they had a hosting West Adelaide who are yet to be defeated in about 2.5 years or something like that. Played at Service FM. And Victoria Costanzo and Nina Yamada, the goal scorers for West Adelaide in that game. The match I was focusing on or thinking about was actually the one that you mentioned just before that, which was Flinders United losing 8-0 to Salisbury Inter. So Flinders United, as we know, is sacked the right word? They terminated the services of their coach. They terminated the services of their coach Tom Monsignor a few weeks ago, and I actually don't think they've even announced it yet, have they? I certainly haven't seen anything on their social media, but it hasn't made a difference. In fact, you could argue that they're worse off. They lost 8-0 this week against Salisbury Inter. Maybe only 1-0 last week. Maybe that was a little bit of hope for them, but 5-0 the week before that. But they'll be bitterly disappointed with this. They're now 5 points adrift at the bottom of Metro Stars. And Metro Stars have got a game in hand. Metro Stars play a catch-up game. I think it might even be this weekend or maybe middle of next week. But if Metro Stars win that, they'll go up to 9 points, which is 6th spot. And you start to think it's very early, but it's hard to see how Flinders are going to get the results that they need to get back into this. Metro Stars, as I mentioned there, 3-1 loss away to Adelaide Comets at Ellis Park. Chrissy Panagaris scoring twice in that one. Sarah Taylor, I think, with a header from memory in the 58th minute. And Katsabis' goal just near the end was proved the winner for Comets. As I understand it, I wasn't at the game. I just saw some brief highlights. But as I understand it, Comets probably deserved the win, but Metro Stars weren't entirely outclassed. And Metro Stars will take heart from the fact that they performed well enough, and they do have this game coming up, game in hand. The other one I was just going to touch on briefly, Modbury Vista, 3-3 draw with Campbelltown City. So Vista obviously won their first game last week, got a 3-3 draw this week. Maybe they're just turning a bit of a corner. I mean, they come up against the Campbelltown City side that's just started to click, same as last year, slow start and then came good. But Campbelltown City just starting to click and looking good, and yet Vista still went to their ground and got the draw. So maybe things are turning around for Vista as we watch. But I've lost my train of thought. But encouraging signs from Vista. That's my point. I laboured to get there, but I got there in the end. Did you want me to keep going, or did you want to say anything, Mark? Or
I was just going to say, I think for Campbelltown, if it's not for Anna Pritchard at the moment, they'd probably not be quite where they are. She seems to be in probably some of the form of her life at the moment, to be honest. Every week she's deciding games or playing a big part in those games, to be honest. The only thing I was going to touch on was the Bacala Uni game. Bacala coming out the 3-0 winners. Vogel doing what she does and scoring goals. She's kind of like the what should we call it, Panagaris of Comets. She's kind of like that at the moment for Bacala, and Bilardo scoring too. But from the accounts that I've heard, I did see the highlights, was that Bacala just completely outplayed Adelaide Uni across most of the game, and certainly deserved the victory. So very good signs for Bacala, currently sitting obviously in third place now, but really good signs for a first-time senior coach at this level. So doing very well, and only sitting behind West Adelaide, who, as we know, are the team to beat. They're the Man City of the WNPL, really, of when they were in their finest form. You know what I mean? That type of.
I'm sure Nicole will be happy to call you called them Man City.
Yeah, exactly. Well. That's why I did it. And then the other team ahead of them is Salisbury Inter, who again are one of the standout performers in the WNPL and have been for a number of years. So both with experienced coaches at this level. So I think Bacala will be quite happy with the way things are travelling for them this season.
No,
just
absolutely.
a couple of comments just on that. You mentioned Anna Pritchard before, Mark, and how she's really doing it for Campbelltown City. She actually scored an own goal at the weekend. Yeah. So she actually, you could say that if that's right. Yeah. If she hadn't scored the own goal, Campbelltown City might have won that game. Yeah. And the other thing is, Seb, I've got some breaking news, and Mark, I've got some breaking news for you.
Okay.
This is exciting, and I've lost my tab. But West Hornsby-Colour are playing Flinders United right now in the Cup. And in the lineup...
We haven't done our predictions. We don't have the score, that's fine.
That's okay. Yeah. So in the lineup, there are two names on the West Hornsby-Colour bench that are new signings. Would you like to know who they are?
Yes, please.
23 is Dylan Holmes.
Okay.
And 38 is Dylan Holmes' friend,
What?
Isabel Hodgson. They always go together, don't they?
Oh, yes. No,
Yeah.
they've gone back. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Dylan Holmes and Isabel Hodgson both in the West Torrens Bacalla lineup tonight.
Very
Wow.
big.
That is big,
Wow.
isn't it?
That's gonna influence our predictions later, I'm sure.
I know. I probably shouldn't have mentioned that until the very
Yeah,
end.
you might have done well. But no, that's interesting. And I guess, yeah, just to sort of end off on that, we do sort of joke, or at least I sort of joke with a few people from West Adelaide that, they make things boring and unfair because of how good they are. And I've told them this many times. But it is good to see, as we said, with the likes of Salisbury Inter and now Bacalla, I mean, those two alone, great signings. So, again, interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out, and that reverse fixture against West Adelaide and Bacalla, certainly one to look out for. Finally, we'll go on to round 9 of the men's MPL Friday night. Not the match of the round, but the match of the round, Mark. West Torrens Bacalla 3-3 against Playford City. Adelaide Comets 2-1 against Sturt Lions, picking up their first win of the season. Para Hills and West Adelaide with a 1-1 draw, huge for Para Hills. Metro Stars and Adelaide United 6-1 the way of Metro Stars up at the Barossa. FK Beograd 2-0 against Croydon. And Adelaide City 2-1 winners over Campbelltown. And funnily enough, I pointed this out early in the week, this whole men's weekend, at least in the MPL, was covered by one game at a time. And of course, it's the week which not all 4 of us are here to talk about all the matches. So that's really, really helpful that this 1 week it's gone this way and it hasn't worked out. But Mark, I will start with you in what was
Yeah.
a
So
great
do you want me
game
to start
on
with
Friday
the
night.
start with the Croydon game or the Bacalla? So yeah, I was lucky enough to have not match of the round, but match of the round. To be honest, it was an absolute cracker of a game. Both teams played, and this is what I spoke to the coaches after. Isaac Mullen doing what Isaac Mullen does and just scoring absolute either from the penalty spot or bombs. I don't think he has an in between like that. There, wrong foot, beautifully placed top corner, got the game started, and then this was French's goal next. This is the centre back, by the way, hitting this volley here, and you just look at it, and it is absolute quality. The fact that he hasn't put that on Anzac Highway, I don't think people don't realise how difficult it is to hit a ball on the way down and keep it under the bar, and he did it beautifully. Bacalla then come back, and Welsh getting on the end of a knockdown from Conway, which you'd think would actually happen the other way, but Conway with the leap of the dude's got a massive vertical leap, and it really paid off there. Got it back to 2-2, and I thought, yep, this is probably going to done. Both teams will play it out, but no, it then went to 3-2, thanks to Isaac Mullen scoring an absolute worldie next, and then the late penalty decision at the end of the game, which was the last kick of the game, and Alan Welsh putting it away. But on a whole, the game was absolutely brilliant to watch. Great for neutrals, real advertisement for the game, but both teams just played the football that they play. So Playford allowed Bacalla to play the way they play, and Bacalla did the same with Playford, allowed them to play the way they play. But it just meant a good free-flowing game. There were a few incidences, there were a few free kicks and stuff, but overall, it was still just a game that was there to enjoy. And I tell you what, both teams put on an absolute spectacle. And yeah, I tell you what, it was great to watch. I had Theo on the call with me, and he thoroughly enjoyed it. So great night out at Bacalla's ground, Jack Smith Park, and it was quite good in the change rooms in the clubhouse after being both teams not losing. You know what I mean? Like
How did you get to the change rooms?
No, the clubhouse. In the clubhouse. So it was good that they were all able to talk and whatnot. So, but great night, great advertisement for the game here. It was an outstanding game. And it had some absolute worldies in there too.
Oh yeah, it's. I watched it from no offense, David, but the focus of my Friday night was on Mark's game and not on Eastern versus Fulham.
Can't believe that.
Yeah. No, it was such an entertaining watch. Onto your other game in Croydon and Beer
Yeah,
as well.
I can go straight into the Croydon beer grade game. So then I followed the Berks game up the next day with Croydon against Beergrad. Konstantopoulos scoring both goals, 24th and 27th minute, two real quickfire goals. Beautiful play from FK Beergrad to get into this position. They played the ball out, and Atkinson having a great effort there, but great save from Margouche. But Konstantopoulos doing what he does best, getting on the end of a spilled save and putting it away. And then the next goal again, just well played football from FK Beergrad. They win it high, they're able to play, and Centofanti in the middle of the park just broke up everything for FK Beergrad. As I said there, Trimboli just beautiful out. Konstantopoulos again with the finish, and that was pretty much it. Croydon very much a Jekyll and Hyde side at the moment. 1 week brilliant, 1 week not so good. So they're sort of, yeah, just a very much, you're not sure what you're going to get each week. It could be brilliant, or it could be not good enough that they'll lose the game. But FK Beergrad were deserved winners over the course of that game. But again, not a bad game to watch, but like I said, the Berkala game was match of the round for me. So they were the two games that I had the joy of watching over the weekend.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was on the technical match of the round, and it was yours was the match of the round. I'll tell you that. I'll go next if that's okay, David.
Yep.
I was at Para Hills in West Adelaide. Quite a surprising match, obviously. 1-1 draw. Fairly even, to be honest, throughout the whole match. And again, Mark, you saw it last week against Playford. Caleb Robinson, very good goalkeeper. I saw on SofaScore, I think he was either man of the match or he's very high up in the ratings. He's very impressive for what he has been this season as a number 2. Helped keep West Adelaide out quite a few times. Fun to watch, which often, you don't get that praise as a goalkeeper sometimes. But very impressive. He was probably my highlight of the match to see. Diego, very, very good. Riley Stam, of course, scoring at his old home. And then Para Hills getting one back through Mark Goulage. It was a very entertaining match for, I guess, before the match, perhaps not perceived like it would be such an exhilarating thing.
Yeah, I was just wanted to say, following up on that talk about the goalkeeper there, I think Fusco's going to have some trouble getting his number 1 spot back when he comes back from suspension, because of what I've seen, the young lad's done very, very well. I saw a piece of skill from De Oliveira in the highlights, and it was just sublime. I think he beat 2 players with a knock over the top, and it was just brilliant. I saw that from the highlights, and that's what you expect from him. But I just wanted to say the other thing for Para Hills is Ulaj. I tell you what,
Yeah. So
when they put him as captain this year, that was their best decision they've made this year. Like he's dragging that team along with him. I don't have enough high praise for him this year. He's been a true leader of that side.
And I will add as well, another player who impressed me, he scored, I can't remember, it wasn't last week, whatever it was, Lansana Smith scored against Playford.
Yep.
He presses so high and so aggressively that I think I said it in commentary. It was very much a game of Para Hills were forcing mistakes out of West Adelaide more often than not, and that was how they were getting the opportunities. West Adelaide were good enough, in all honesty, to get through, but Para Hills basically just resilient. They pressed hard and high and aggressive, forced mistakes, and that's how they got their opportunities. And it was probably again, I've seen Para Hills play a few times. I think 3 or 4 times maybe. I've watched the Berkala game, watched the Playford game, Berkala game, which ended up being sort of rubbed out and doesn't exist anymore, I suppose. They were very decent then, but this was probably their best performance so far this season. I was very impressed by them. They do sit bottom still, of course, but I think we've said it the past few weeks. I don't think you can count them out. It's very hard not to.
Some really good positive signs for them.
Yes. But yeah, I was quite impressed.
And then I was going to say, just lastly, Riley Stam finding some form as well. Like it's great to see him scoring goals. Like it's fantastic to see.
David?
Oh, I was just going to echo what you were saying about Para Hills Knights. I've seen them a couple of times this year, and when we've talked about them, I've had the same sort of sentiment. You know, they are being beaten, they are getting pumped some weeks as well, for want of a better phrase. But, you know, there are some signs there. Kyle Blomley and Kyle Marley McFall, for me, I don't know what you made of them, those two players at the weekend, but for me, when I've seen Para Hills Knights play, they've been standouts for me in previous games as well. I just wanted to add that in there when we're talking about that. And just also comment on Playford. They're a bit like Hearts this year, aren't they? Top of the table, let's hope they don't blow it, and they play in maroon.
And we spoke about the Adelaide City Campbelltown game earlier. It wasn't the most exciting of games, in all honesty. Late drama, probably that last 10 minutes was the most exciting period of the match. Yeah, again, we mentioned it earlier, it was a very aggressive, well, not aggressive, it was a very hard-fought game with plenty of flying tackles and, you know, a few questions asked. Nick Bucco very much having plenty of conversations with Curtis Wordsworth, which I'm sure they were both happy to engage in. But yeah, that's pretty much the roundup of my two matches. David, you, of course, had that trip up to the Barossa.
I did indeed. I'll be very quick. I've noticed the time. Gosh, we've been going for a while already. So I was up at the Barossa, Adelaide United playing Metro Stars. I must offer my apologies to Michael Cittadini and Christian Sotira because after Alex Battistella had taken advantage of a slip by Noah McNamara to put Adelaide United 1-0 up, Michael Cittadini pulled a goal back, and he took the goal really well. It's just on the screen here. Lovely little through ball by Satira, who for me was one of the best on the ground. Cittadini rounds the goalkeeper, puts the ball in, and I called that correctly at the time, but for reasons unknown to me, I proceeded to credit the goal to Christian Satira in my notes. And that was only in the 18th minute. So for the next, 62 minutes of the match, I talked about Christian Satira scoring that goal and forgot to mention it was actually Michael Cittadini. So my apologies for the two of them. It was just a slip up on my part. A comprehensive win for Metro Stars. Adelaide United, of course, missing a number of players. Harry Crawford was out, Fabian Taladera was out, Joey Garucci was out, Satira Phyllis was out, and most of them had crossed the Tasman to go over and be part of that squad to play Auckland in the A-League first leg semi-final match over there. And of course Harry Crawford, having scored against Sturt the week before, doubled down on that by scoring in the A-League game the following week, which was the Saturday. So they were missing from this Adelaide United side. So Paul Vaness's side were severely depleted. But having said that, Metro Stars for me were just an absolute class above. Noah McNamara scored 2 goals. Who'd have thought that in his 100th game for Metro Stars? One was a free header at the back post, and the other one was a shot in the training ground, which will come up on your screen shortly. Cittadini and Gow were over the ball, and McNamara jogged over and had a word with him, and then they played it across to him, and he hit it sweetly with his left foot to put it beyond the reach of Max Vartuli. So, look, entertaining enough game. Christian Satiri was a standout for me. Noah McNamara with 2 goals, another highlight, of course. Coming on, Binyam Kaberi scored their 5th goal in the 6-1 win, and Metro Stars would be absolutely delighted with that. Stayed on. Didn't get into the change rooms like Mark, but I did get invited into the club rooms, and they looked after us there and had a bit of a chat with some various Metro Stars folk. So a great little afternoon, long drive back, but thoroughly enjoyed it. I was just going to say as well, a little thank you to Barossa United staff for helping us out. There was a bit of a mix-up with their generator, in that they forgot they needed one. So someone ran away, grabbed one, brought it back. It was faulty. Someone else came over and fixed it, and with literally 5 minutes till the broadcast started, we were up and running, so no time for a sound check or anything like that. But well done to Barossa United for hosting us again. Much appreciated. And I think that's it. Or do we need to talk about Sturt?
I was going to say, I'll quickly cover the Comet Sturt game. Comets coming away with their first win of the season, thanks to goals through Spadavecchia, an equaliser through Gonzalo Rodriguez, who is keeping up his fine form for the season, and then Aladdin Irabona scoring late in the, or when I say late, 82nd minute, so still late, scoring a free kick to give Comets their first win of the season, which could go a long way a long way for them in the fact that it gets that monkey off the back for them. They now they're obviously they're still sitting in 11th, but they're only effectively 6 points behind West Adelaide, who are in 10th on 10 points, and West Adelaide have drawn drawn 4 of the last 5 and lost one of those as well of their last 5 games. So next week could be a big one for them. They're up against Metro Stars, but you never know what can happen. But a great win for Comets and getting that first win. They'll now try and push on. I have no word of their new coach at this stage, as they did release their manager or coach only a week or so ago, but I haven't heard. Nothing's confirmed that I believe of a new coach at this stage. So they will continue at this stage with an interim, and he's got a result in their first game, I think it is. So maybe second game. So Comets could manage to turn things around. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely huge for Adelaide Comets. And that rounds out all the results of the past week. We'll go on to our predictions, but unfortunately, Alessio is not here, so he's not able to take us through what we did last week. He's come out of nowhere. He came.
I'm back in the car park, lads, and I'm back here for the predictions, the most important part of the show.
Are you wearing trousers? Are you wearing trousers? Tell me you've got trousers on.
That's an off-screen joke.
I'll go through them then. I thought there would be more questions for me. But anyway, it was a fantastic week for all of us on the predictions. All of us getting above 20 points in our voting leagues. All of us getting some perfect scorelines. And weirdly enough, one of them, we all had the correct result and just a couple of predictions away from all getting it perfect. I'll go through who's got what points and what the perfect scores were. Mark, 24 points this week. His perfect scoreline was Adelaide City Women's. David, 21 points this week. 2 perfect scorelines for him. And that was Comets Women and Modbury Vista Women. Seb, 21 points as well. His perfect scoreline was Vipers Men's. And myself, 29 points with 3 perfect scorelines, being the Comets Women. The Vista Women, the Vista Women. The Cobras Cup game, I had the correct result and the perfect score, just not the correct length of the game. And I had the Sturt Women's perfect score as well. But it was interesting to see that Vista versus Campbelltown Women. All of us had the draw. I think Mark and Seb had 2-2, and Dave and I had the perfect 3-2.
Alessio, your voice has turned into a robot for a second, and he's gone.
Somehow we did that cut.
It was a bit C-3PO, wasn't it?
We got most of it, Alessio, if you could still hear us.
You guys still hear me? Yeah.
We can. Yeah, your camera's gone.
That's what happens when you work in the hills. David's just got super good internet at his place, but no phone service.
And see what you guys can see on screen, but it's delayed for me as well. I just can't see myself on the screen, but I can see all you.
Anyway,
Okay.
moving on.
We had a good week.
You can still hear me. The
he's back.
now has got a couple movements. I am now top with 213 points.
Oh.
Second place, Seb, 207. David in third. Mark in third with 204.
Thought I dropped.
9. So again, I think Mark and David, there's 11-point difference. Between Mark and Seb, there's only 3, and between Seb and myself, there's 6. So very close. But yeah, thanks for having.
We should do our tips then and start upsetting some of the players and coaches. Let's upset the community.
Alessio, your internet is cutting out. Yeah, and he's left. That's fine.
That's good. That's good.
He made his cameo appearance, and
Yes.
and that was all we needed apparently. Let's get these done. State League 2, the game we're predicting is Modbury Vista versus Elizabeth Downs. I'm going Modbury Vista 2-1.
Sorry, I'm trying to find my table. State League 2, what?
North.
Vista and Downs.
Vista versus Downs.
Vista and Downs.
I'm going to go Vista on current form 3-2.
I'm going to go Vista on current form 3-1.
In the south, Vipers versus Seaford Rangers. I'm going to go for a Vipers 2-1 at home.
I'm actually going to go Seaford Rangers 2-1 at home. 2-1 away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, Seaford Rangers for me 2-1.
I only got a 2-all draw.
It's a draw. You don't pick a team in a draw. State League 1, Cove versus Adelaide Croatia Raiders at Cove. I'm going to go 3-1 Cove. Very different to a 2.
2-1 Cove on current form as well. They're 4 wins out of the last 5, so.
Yeah, I'll go a draw, 2-all.
Next is the rescheduled round 6 match in the WNPL, the only WNPL league match this weekend to be played. Metro Stars versus Football SA at TK Shutter Reserve. I'm going to go for a Football SA 3-1 win.
I'll go Football SA 2-0.
I'll go Football SA 1-0.
Next is WNPL WSL Cup quarterfinal. Adelaide Comets versus Salisbury Inter being played on Friday night at Adelaide Comets. I'm going to go for an Inter 3-1 win.
So this is the WNPL Cup, and it's Comets and Inter, did you say?
Yes.
I'm going to go Comets 2-1.
I'm going to go... Sorry, I was just bringing up the ladder because I can't remember what their form's like. I'll go Inter 3-2.
Next is Men's MPL, Playford City versus Adelaide City. Big one near the top of the table. At Playford, though, I'm going to back Playford and say a 3-2 win for them.
3-1 for Playford.
I'll go a draw, 2-all.
And finally, the last of the Men's Australia Cup quarterfinals, West Torrens Burkalla versus Fulham United to be played in, this coming Tuesday night. I'm going to go Burks winning 2-1 after extra time.
I'm going to go West Torrens Burkalla winning 4-0 in 90 minutes. And with all due respect to Fulham, Eastern United have the leakiest, or one of the leakiest defences in State League 1, and Fulham couldn't get a goal against it. So I don't think they'll get a goal against West Torrens Burkalla, and I think Burkalla will get 4.
Counterpoint,
Yep.
Cumberland just beat Adelaide City. Just to counterpoint in general. Mark?
Counterpoint accepted.
What did you go, Seb?
2-1 after extra time.
Okay, I'm going 3-1 Burkalla, 90 minutes.
Very good. That is us done pretty much for another week. Anything else before we finish off?
Just if you can, get out to local games, get out and watch them. Support the local clubs, as Alessio would normally say. He normally does this bit, but yeah, if you can get out, watch some good games of football this weekend. The games are all on Saturday. because there is no game on Friday.
Basically the same time.
Yeah, there is no game on Friday night due to Adelaide United, obviously. So Saturday, get out to a game. 2:30s, 3 o'clocks, and 5 o'clocks, I think it is, that are the kickoffs. We'll be all on games ourselves. I've got Croydon. I'm not sure who you boys have got at this stage. I think, David, you might have Playford.
I have Playford.
I've got FK Beograd and Campbelltown. I think the forecast is for heavy rain as well.
Oh, yeah. I hope not.
So,
well, actually, I don't mind because I'm at Croydon, so I've got an office. Yeah. That's great.
I'm at Playford, to be fair, and Playford have done a very good job in covering up their scaffold, as you would have seen,
yes.
Mark.
Yes,
yeah, I think I'm the one.
I
think I'm the one that's scuppered.
Yeah, you're going to be in some trouble there. And lastly, if you want to jump on board and support and help us out, then by all means, reach out to us. If you want to reach out to us about the tipping competition as well, by all means, reach out. If you want to join and let us know, and we'll go from there.
Yes, QR
As you
code
can
is
see,
on
the
screen
QR
for
code,
the tipping
the
competition.
QR code's there.
And
keep that there. I think we've had a couple of people. I think we've had a couple of people join during the period we've been on. Yeah, so that's
brilliant.
good.
Okay.
I was just going to mention. Sorry. Oh, yeah. So I was just going to mention. Don't forget, it is Female Football Week. We forgot to mention that earlier on. Although I've got a bit of an issue with this because Female Football Week goes from Friday the 8th of May to Sunday the 17th of May. That's more than a week. Isn't it? It's like female football, days. 11 days. So just to quickly touch on that, Friday, the next event that's coming up, Friday the 15th of May, is a WNPL match night at Service FM. 16th of May, Leadership and Connections section, 10 a.m. at Service FM, a round table session with Kerry Harris, focused on leadership, connection, and empowering women in football. And then on Sunday the 17th of May, to round out the 11-day week of female football, it just says junior and community fixtures, and the Female Football Week wraps up with junior and community fixtures across the state, celebrating the contribution of women and girls at all levels of football. I am a father of 2 girls, both play, well, one plays, the other one has played, and I'm all for it. So just enjoy and embrace women's football. That's all from me.
No, absolutely. Well, I forgot I was going to finish off on. Yes, tipping comp. Of course, I forgot to mention it last week, and I said to him I would this week, of course. Make sure to donate for Johnny's upcoming charity match event, which he's having early June. We'll be able to find links to donate through the local game, through him. Please do, I think, without giving too much away, which he doesn't want to do. We're all involved, possibly, in some aspects, possibly. But yeah, make sure to donate. Looking forward to the day as well. And then the last thing, I normally don't self-promote, but me and David, we are commentating for the collective on Friday night for the Adelaide United versus Auckland second leg semi-final. So if you don't want to listen to Paramount Plus and all those people, and you prefer the
subtle tones of you and David,
I wouldn't even call them that either. If you want to listen to our voices for that match, and please do, it'd be very appreciated. Should be a fun night. It'll be again more heavy rain, so that will be certainly entertaining. And make sure if you haven't got a ticket to the game, it's sold out. Do watch it however you can. If you are going, support in numbers. If we can have a grand final at home, especially, which isn't in our control, that's even better. So do make sure to get out as well to all the games here if you can. Friday, watch it. Enjoy that one as well. But yeah, I think that's everything for a week. Good.
That's it.
Good job, guys. Good job, guys. We'll see you next week with another guest, all the results, etc., etc. Tipping comp, follow, all that sort of stuff. Really, a lot of effort put into the outro. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the weekend. Trying to get this done. We'll see you then. We'll see you across the weekend. We'll see you next week. See ya.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Looks like we're heading to extra time, but there's still 5 minutes to play here, Mark. And by all means, there could be more chances. Still in the box, and it's another goal! And it's Andre Cole, the hero for Croydon! We thought it was over, but it's not over. And quite it looks like they're going to go all the way to the win.
We can't say that now.
Here goes Yuki Sasaki into the area. Panagaris, Chrissy Panagaris. Adelaide Comets have taken the lead.
Falcon there, but it leaves Owen Windsor. And a third for Metro Stars.
Here's Emma Ryan. She's not one of them because she's from Darwin. The shot from DeCola. Lily DeCola scores in the cup final again and wins it for West Adelaide.
As the ball cuts back here to Odenwalder. And James Odenwalder scores. He makes it 2-0 for West Adelaide on the day.
I bet he was going to be Travella if he puts one in. He goes himself instead. And it's still Soy Sakani. It's unbelievable, David, as well. And that one is definitely going to be credited to him.
Will have to be chased down by Rapuano. He'll put in a cross of his own. Hobbs wasn't able to capture it. It's in! It's not the one that seals out the Atletico promotion.
I got the skills to make the girls sing, and the geezers too. Yeah, we're doing this thing.